She should have known that something was wrong. If that was the whole vibe of what was going on in the office or precinct or wherever they're at, then she should have known. The thing is this: people don't want to be responsible for their actions. That's the problem. They don't want to be responsible for what's going on, especially when it comes to things like this. They don't want to take responsibility until they've been caught for what they've done. And then they say like, well, no, it was this. It happened this way because I was pressured into it. And the people who were supposed to be, have my best interest, they didn't have my best interest. And they wanted me to do certain things that I wasn't supposed to be doing. So it's actually their fault instead of mine.
Yeah, I was saying your girl back in the news, bro.
Oh yeah. I saw that you had texted me about that. I'm like, man, what is she up to now? What is going on?
She back out here, bro. She out here in these streets, bro.
Man, dude. I know she belonged to the street, but she gotta stay out that. She gotta stay out that mug, man. Like,
did you see what she said, bro?
What'd she say, man? Like, okay. Here's the thing, though. I knew that she was gonna be all right after all this publicity because of just the nature of how everything went down. But now that she's back in the news, I'm interested. What's good with it?
So you got a fired Tennessee cop, Maegan Hall, claims she was sexually groomed in a lawsuit. So this is what the article says from the New York Times or New York Post. Sorry. The Tennessee cop fired over her numerous sexual romps with other officers claims in a new federal lawsuit that superiors in her department sexually groomed her in risque escapades. Golly, the terminology.
Escapades.
Yeah, bro. They really out here, bro.
I've never heard escapades.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I've heard of escapades, but
I've heard that word. I've never heard it in this context.
It's hilarious, bro. It says Maegan Hall, 26, who blamed a troubled marriage for her randy affairs. What the randy affairs? Claims she felt trapped. That's what I'm saying, bro. Claims she felt trapped and exploited in the midst of all male ranks of the whatever that police department is called, according to her 51-page federal complaint filed Monday. When Miss Hall sought role models at her new job, she instead found predators, lawsuit says. In place of offering professional development, her supervisors and the chief of police groomed her for sexual exploitation. Wow. They colluded in using their authority to systematically disarm her resistance and entrap her in degrading and abusive sexual relationships, even sharing tips on the best ways to manipulate and exploit her. That's crazy. I don't think it's true.
Okay.
It might be.
Before we continue, I just want to say this. What is what is this world coming to? Oh my God. Here's the thing though. Why didn't she speak up to all of this prior to all of this stuff being found out about? Prior to basically them being, all those cops being found out that they were with her, all the Girls Gone Wild parties or whatever they were doing. Why didn't she say anything prior to that? If that's what they were doing, if she was being groomed, so to speak.
In my line of work, I know that people get with lawyers and their lawyers give them advice of how to avoid a situation or how to get back at a situation. In her case, she's blaming the department for her actions. Now, if she said this before, I would have been like, okay. But the fact that she's saying this a month or two later, is she got with a lawyer and they told her what to say, what to do.
Most likely.
The issue with this is before she said her husband was okay with what she was doing. So obviously she agreed to do it. Now, if the cops were really doing this, and using her, but it's not like she disagreed with it. It's not like she didn't go along with it. You're 26 years old. You're an adult.
Yep.
You knew what you were doing.
You could speak up at any time. Anytime you feel uncomfortable, anytime you feel like certain actions should not be happening, you can speak up. You don't have to go along with certain things that are going on in the workplace. Like you said, you're an adult. Yes. Use your voice. Even if you are afraid, use your voice.
There are HR departments. There are different avenues you can go to get help if this situation is taking place. Like, I can understand if it may have happened with your direct supervisor, you felt pressure, but you did it with like 6 different dudes. Like, you knew what was going on and you accepted it. So that's not exploitation.
You did it with a smile on your face, you nasty. What is wrong with you? I don't like this.
And she went on a lie and said her husband agreed with it. The fact that she said that, it completely kills her argument, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Because if you wanted to keep it hush hush secret, you wouldn't even let him know. You know what I'm saying? Even if you did want to let him, you would have like confessed to him, like, hey, this is what's been going on. I don't feel comfortable. Maybe we should try and, speak up about it, or maybe we should, have them investigated on something. Yeah. But no, you waited till after everything had came out, and now you want to be vocal about it? Come on, man.
It's a double standard, right? I don't really like to talk about double standards because I don't disagree with double standards. I think a lot of double standards make sense for the genders. But could you imagine if a man came out and said this, that his 6 female supervisors in leadership was exploiting him sexually? Man, it wouldn't even sound right.
They'd be like, boy, shut up. Just shut up. You live in every man's dream. Boy, sit your ass down and just shut up and take it.
This wouldn't even have been a story, but I don't like to talk about double standards because I do believe in some double standards. Yeah. But at the same time, like, you're an adult. That's my problem with it. You're an adult. You didn't have to go along with this. You could have told your husband. Y'all could have pressed charges. Y'all could have sued. Y'all could have, if they were exploiting you, could have thrown them in jail in the first place. But you were going along with it.
Something. And
accountability is kryptonite, bro. Accountability is kryptonite to some people.
And don't they have footage of what happened, what took place, like in somewhere like where they worked? They said like some of it happened like in the training facility or whatever it is.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
but it's consensual. It was all consensual. This kind of reminds me Ime Udoka in the Boston Celtics.
Oh,
when everything was consensual, but he lost his job, but the other person didn't. If it was all consensual, either both of you were cheating. So why is he the only one that get fired? Because he was cheating with somebody whose spouse was a high person within the organization. But it's a double-edged sword, bro. Like, it's crazy. But like, if what she's saying is true, this is a terrible situation. I just don't think, my opinion is, and my line of work, working directly with law enforcement and lawyers, and the legal system, a lot of cases like this, the person is coming out lying, or not, I'm going to say lying, but they're putting this narrative out because they want to clear their name, but they were a part of the problem. It's like, you can't, people don't feel bad that the young men in the inner cities are getting pushed in the streets, in the gangs, by their superiors or people they look up to, their role models, and they kill somebody, and now they're in jail, but they grow up and realize what they did was wrong. You don't feel bad for that person, though. They were a young kid taken into this environment, and they had to it's killed or be killed, and they took somebody's life or did something messed up, and you don't feel bad for them.
And so why she should have known that something was wrong. If that was the whole vibe of what was going on in the office or precinct or wherever they're at, then she should have known. The thing is this: people don't want to be responsible for their actions. That's the problem. They don't want to be responsible for what's going on, especially when it comes to things like this. They don't want to take responsibility until they've been caught for what they've done. And then they say, like, well, no, it was this. it happened this way because I was pressured into it, and the people who were supposed to be have my best interest, they didn't have my best interest, and they wanted me to do certain things that I wasn't supposed to be doing. So it's actually their fault instead of mine, because they want to kind of give this narrative that they didn't know better. I'm like, no, you did know better.
Yeah, and you knew exactly what was going on.
It puts the blame on people that shouldn't be blamed. And everything about it is wrong, man. Everything.
It's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate situation. It really is. She's not a bad person for what happened. I mean, everybody's adults. It was all consensual. Now, if the men involved were in her chain of command or leadership or supervisory positions, they should have thought before they made the decision to sleep with this young lady. But at the same time, she was going along with the two. She's to blame as well. It's not just their fault. So that's my problem with it. You can't come out 2 months later saying this when everything at the time you were enjoying it. You were enjoying it. You didn't feel bad about it. You didn't think anything was wrong about it. And like they have videos of her basically saying she didn't think it was a problem. But now you're coming out and saying this.
Wasn't she encouraging some of the actions too? I feel like I read somewhere where she was like basically pushing them to do some things too.
She told one of her wives that she's in an open marriage. So she told one of the officers' wives that she was in an open marriage, and this is what they do.
And I understand, like even if you are encouraged to do something, you still have the choice, not to do or not to do it. But still, it's like I don't know,
bro.